Hi, I'm Master Moran, and I'd like to just address a few questions that people have been asking me about kata. And what I get is there's a lot of people that don't believe that kata can be used for self-defense, and that the kata part of karate is really not useful for or practical for self-defense. And let me explain something to you. Kata is karate. When you separate your karate from your kata, you're separating yourself from your karate, or from karate. And what I mean by that is that in the old days, what karate was the kata. You only learned one kata, maybe two, and you learned everything those kata did. Most people with Nahanchi learn the Shodan. I also do the Nidan and the Sandan. And if you look at what I've been teaching you, so far everything pretty much is from the Nahanchi Shodan. I haven't come close to completing what I'm going to be teaching on Nahanchi Shodan on the internet. I also have videos on it with a lot of information on them also. But nevertheless, kata is the old way of karate. And the old masters all would tell you that kata training and kata is karate. Anything else that you're doing really isn't. The modern sport karate, that evolved out of the need to change karate into a sport, to bring it into the future, and so that it would last and survive. And most people thought that if they changed it to a sport and it went that way, that it would become very popular and survive, which is true, but it doesn't even resemble what karate was. Karate in the old days, okay, was kata, and all the fighting techniques, all the deadliest stuff was in that kata. Why do I prefer Nahanchi kata than other kata? Well, Nahanchi is karate, remember that. It's an old way of doing karate, and the techniques within Nahanchi differ than most styles of martial arts. And not just that, there's some things that all systems do that Nahanchi doesn't do, and Nahanchi knows how to take advantage of those things that other systems do that Nahanchi doesn't do. And that's a clue for you. So you can look deep within what I just said. There's a lot of things in that. But Bankai, let me address Bankai. Bankai, which is basically a practical application of the technique in kata. Bankai is a small piece of the puzzle. Pressure points is another piece of the puzzle. You look at Bankai as Zen puzzles, Zen cones. And when you tap in and you find the true answer to it, it comes from your inspiration, your higher self, okay? I believe that God gives me a lot of answers to kata, and gives me the ability to understand and unlock the mysteries and things within the kata. But what happens is, kata was set up by Zen masters, and it is taught similar to the way that a student is taught or brought to enlightenment in Zen. And each piece of karate is thought of as a Zen cone or a Zen puzzle. And when you unlock that, okay, and you really have a true understanding of it, and you find the answer, it's very difficult at first. And but when this happens, you get a type of enlightenment. And you keep doing this and doing this and doing this, and over the years, all the pieces of the puzzle form together, and you're really enlightened to what karate is all about, and what the kata is all about. And kata really is karate. Without it, there is no karate. So don't neglect your kata. That's a very important thing to remember. Never neglect your kata training. You should, even if you're practicing martial arts, you should train your kata yourself at least 100, 150 times a day on your own. if you really want to learn about karate. But don't just practice the movements while you're doing it, and you're doing it that many times. Let the kata speak to you, and let it reveal itself to you. Now, if you think this way, and I plant in these seeds in your head, let them grow, evolve with these. Okay, I'm going to give you more information on kata and talk to you more about kata. But remember, each movement is a type of Zen koan, Zen puzzle. But other than just doing this, don't think just intellectually about it. Get out there and train with it. Do the techniques, work the moves. Remember, each movement in kata should put your opponent in a position where anything he does is a mistake now. And regardless of what kata you're doing, you should do it like that and think of it like that. Well, thanks again. I enjoyed talking to you guys. If you have any questions about kata or application, remember, Bankai is just a small piece of the puzzle. Don't get so involved with just the Bankai. Learn how to move and apply and adjust yourself with the kata to anything that can happen. And thanks again, like I say, tune in, keep checking out our channel, and take a look at my website, bushidoproductions.com, and newideamas.com. Thanks again.